In the northern highlands of Vietnam, where limestone mountains of Chao Bang rise through mist and clouds, embracing small valleys and quiet villages, there is a moment when an entire community slows down. Not simply to rest, but to step into the most sacred and important time of the year. For the Nung people, that moment is Tet Nguyen Jan, the Lunar New Year. There is no other festival prepared for so long, no other time treated with greater reverence. This is not merely the beginning of a new year. It is the closing of a complete cycle of nature, harvest, and human life. It is the moment when descendants invite their ancestors home, when humans speak to the natural world, and when the entire community renews its faith before stepping into a new year. On sacred trails, we are not simply witnessing a celebration. We are entering the spiritual heart of Nung life in Vietnam. Vietnam, sacred trails. The Nung are one of the largest ethnic groups in Vietnam, living primarily in the northern mountainous provinces such as Lang Son, Chao Bang, and Bac Can. Among these, Chao Bang stands out as a representative cultural landscape where traditional Nung practices have been preserved with remarkable continuity. As an agricultural people deeply rooted in valleys, wet rice fields, and surrounding forests, the Nung organize their lives according to natural cycles. Daily activities, belief systems, and ritual practices all follow the rhythms of the seasons. Within this worldview, festivals are not peripheral events, but central pillars of spiritual life, and the Lunar New Year stands at the very top. For the Nung, Tet is not simply a date on the calendar. It is a clear boundary between what has passed and what is about to begin. A year is not considered complete until Lunar New Year rituals have been properly fulfilled. Likewise, a new year does not truly begin until humans have formally reported to their ancestors, the land, and the wider community. Tet is therefore a moment of total reflection. People look back on a year of labor, on family relationships, on harmony within clans and villages. At the same time, they project hopes for the future. In the Nung worldview, humans do not exist independently. They live in constant relationship with ancestors and nature. Lunar New Year is the moment when this balance is reaffirmed and restored, allowing the community to enter the new year grounded, protected, and spiritually renewed. A festival as sacred and significant as Lunar New Year cannot be prepared in just a few days. From the middle of the 12th lunar month, Nung villages gradually enter a state of quiet anticipation. Farming work slows down, but life does not become idle. Instead, daily activities take on a ritual character. Every action carries intention, meaning, and hope for the coming year. Within Nung households, women play a central role in preparing for Tet. They weave cloth and sew new clothes for each family member. These garments are not merely festive attire. They symbolize renewal, marking the transition into a new life cycle. For children, Tet is especially tangible. New clothes, family gatherings, and a temporary release from daily labor. Men, meanwhile, focus on cleaning and repairing the home, especially the ancestral altar, the most sacred space in the household. Before Tet, the altar is carefully cleaned using warm water infused with pomelo leaves, believed to purify the space and demonstrate respect toward ancestral spirits. One particularly meaningful ritual involves collecting fortune wood. This wood is burned during the early days of the new year. The fire it produces is believed to repel evil forces, protect the household, and restore vital energy. For the Nung, preparing for Tet is not merely physical work. It is a process of cleansing both living space and the human spirit. At the heart of Nung Lunar New Year stands the humpback sticky rice cake. No other food holds greater significance. It is the centerpiece of the ancestral offering and the most powerful symbol of Tet itself. Unlike the square sticky rice cakes common in other regions of Vietnam, the Nung cake rises in a rounded, elevated form, evoking the surrounding mountains that define Nung homeland. Made from glutinous rice, mung beans, pork, and forest leaves, the cake embodies the fruits of a year's labor. Preparing the cake is not simply cooking, it is a family ritual. From the 25th day of the lunar month, leaves are gathered, rice is milled, beans cleaned, and meat prepared. On the 29th, families gather around a glowing fire through the night to wrap and boil the cakes together. That fire warms more than the food. It sustains memory, conversation, and intergenerational bonds. New Year's Eve is the most sacred moment of all. Families perform ancestral rituals, inviting departed relatives to return home and celebrate with their descendants. Through prayers, household heads report the year's achievements and ask for health, harmony, and prosperity in the coming year. Afterward come offerings to the earth deity and to heaven itself. Guided by the belief that all things possess spirit, the Nung ensure that all unseen forces are acknowledged so that humans may step into the new year with peace of mind. The morning of the first lunar day is considered one of the purest and most significant moments of the year. While darkness still blankets the villages of Cao Bang, families quietly rise to perform the year's first rituals. One of the most important is the ritual of fetching first water. Water is drawn from streams or wells, the lifeblood of mountain agricultural communities in Vietnam. Believed to be water blessed by heaven and earth, it is offered at the ancestral altar as a symbol of rebirth, vitality, and creative energy. Not only humans are awakened. Farming tools, plows, harrows, hoes, are also ritually acknowledged. These objects are believed to possess spirit and are ceremonially awakened so they may support agricultural work in the year ahead. After morning rituals, families gather for the first meal of the year. The atmosphere is no longer solemn, but warm and intimate. New Year wishes are exchanged. From this moment onward, spring officially begins for the Nung people, not only in nature, but in renewed faith and collective strength. For the Nung people of Cao Bang, northern Vietnam, Lunar New Year is the most sacred and important festival of the year. It is the axis around which an entire year is concluded and a new life cycle begins. On sacred trails, the Lunar New Year of the Nung emerges not as a single celebration, but as a complete belief system, where humans, ancestors, and nature coexist in balance. In a rapidly changing modern world, these rituals endure quietly, preserving identity and sustaining spiritual resilience. As spring returns, the Nung do not simply welcome a new year. They welcome a renewal of faith, hope, and connection, deeply rooted in their enduring cultural heritage on Vietnamese soil.